it going, guys? This is Daniel, this is Dragoncrafts, and in today's video I have a deck profile for you guys. But before I get to the contents of today's video, please allow me a few seconds to give a huge shout out to Yourplaymat.com. Yourplaymat.com is where I got this amazing playmat from. As you can see, it's custom made, it's very professionally made, I'm so happy with it. But the best of all in this is how easy it is to get your playmat done and delivered. All you need to do really is go to yourplaymat.com and immediately you see that you have a button called Start Here. Just by clicking it, you will be guided throughout all the process, step by step. It's really easy, it's really user friendly to do. So yeah, get your order today and use the code that I will have in the description below to get yourself a 15% discount. Set up new levels of originality, get more creative, and be sure to get your playmat from yourplaymat.com today. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is a deck profile for a Dragonmaid deck. I've built this deck for competitive play, and I'm quite confident that this deck could do really well in this format, especially since some of the decks have lost. Let's get right into the deck. So we start the deck profile with 3 copies of Kitchened Dragonmaid. Kitchened Dragonmaid is the main searcher of the deck. So what makes this card really powerful and really special in this deck is because it's the main search engine that you have in the deck. The only restriction it has is that you can only search for monster cards, but that's okay because moving forward with more cards we will see more different use from the other cards. So yeah, definitely 3 copies of Kitchened Dragonmaid. Also, I like to play 2 copies of Nurse Dragonmaid. I tried to play 3 copies of this card, but I thought that 3 copies is too much to play in the deck. The reason why I chose to play 2 copies of this card is that you don't see the low-level Dragonmaids in the graveyard very often, because usually you summon them, go into the battle phase, they return to your hand, and you get to summon the high-level monster from your hand or graveyard. So yeah, it's very unlikely that this card, low-level Dragonmaid cards go to the graveyard. So that being the reason why I'm playing 2 Nurse Dragonmaids. Also, we have 3 copies of Parlor Dragonmaid. I think this is one of the most important cards that you run in this deck, simply because it's a foolish barrier for the deck. What's important of this card is that the card that this card is sent could be any Dragonmaid card of your choosing. Could be a monster card, could be a spell card, anything that you wish. So yeah, that's why I think Parlor Dragonmaid is a very important card in the deck moving forward in the meta. Also then we play 1 copy of Laundry Dragonmaid. Laundry Dragonmaid is not very effective in this deck. However, playing 1 is still good, because if this card is normal special summon, you can send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard. So yeah, it's this card is a bit tricky because sometimes you need to draw the cards instead of sending them to the graveyard. But if you send cards like the high-level dragons to the graveyard, this effect could be very powerful. It's very risky to use it. That's why I run only 1. Then going on to the big boys, or should we say big girls, 2 copies of Dragonmaid Tinkek. So common effect with the high level dragons is that they can't be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. Discard this card to target 1 Dragonmaid monster you control. Basically it gains 2000 attack until the end of this turn. Yeah, this card is very important to the deck. Basically it will boost your Dragonmaid's attack points by 2000, and yeah, it can help you get rid of some powerful monsters that your opponent might control. Then we have 3 copies of Dragonmaid Ernest. This card has a very powerful effect. Apart that it can't be destroyed by card effects, so you control a fusion monster. As a quick effect, you can discard special summon 1 level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. And this is especially powerful because you can trigger the effects of your Dragonmaids during your opponent's turn, being this card having a quick effect, and also at the end of the battle phase she comes back to your hand and you summon a level 2 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. But for that first effect, this card is really powerful. Then one copy of Dragonmaid Lorpar. This is basically an effect veiler in the deck. However, the way the effect is played is quite a bit different. You can discard it, target one face-up monster on the field, and players cannot activate that target's effects this turn. Also one copy of Dragonmaid Nadiarl, and this monster will close the Dragonmaid monsters of this deck. This card is not very powerful, however it can come in handy in certain situations because you can discard this card and target one monster in either graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. Sometimes, yes, this could be really important to use that effect. Now, moving on to the other cards, or other monsters that we run in the deck, and one of them has to be Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. We all know what this card does. You can special summon this card by banishing one dragon monster you control, and once per turn you can special summon one dragon monster from your hand or graveyard except Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So there's nothing really more to say about this card. It's really powerful, and yeah, it can get you out of certain difficult situations by activating just the effect of this card. Also, we run one Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms, simply because being a dragon deck, this monster will also become in handy. Also, we have the Parlors, which are Wind, Lorpar, which is also Wind, and we have another monster that's coming up next that is also Wind. So you can discard this card and that to add one dragon monster from your deck to your hand, basically just like that. So Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms would be very important in the deck. And the new addition to the deck comes straight from Ignition Assault, and it's none other than Phaedra and the Winds of Mischief. To be honest, I'm still practicing with this card. At the moment, I think that playing one is really enough, but what this card excels in, return it to your hand and switch one monster your opponent controls to defense. This is a quick effect that can be used during your opponent's turn. Using the effect of House Dragonmaid, when a dragon is returned to your hand, you get to destroy one monster. So Phaedra and the Winds of Mischief might come in really handy. And to finish off with the monsters, for some interruption to your opponent, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Everyone knows what this card does. You just discard it and negate a card from the deck to the hand, summon from the deck, or a card that sends a card from the deck to the graveyard. This card has really seen play in almost every deck, and it's become a pretty staple in every deck as well. That's all for the monsters. For the spell cards, we run 3 copies of Dragonmaid Hospitality. This card is extremely powerful. It lets you special summon one Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can send one Dragonmaid monster with the same attribute but different level from your deck to your graveyard. This card can really shift the tides of a battle during a game. So yeah, 3 copies of Dragonmaid Hospitality, definitely. And 2 copies of Dragonmaid Send Off. This card basically targets one Dragonmaid monster you control, special summon that Dragonmaid monster with a different name from your hand. So yeah, this card is very situational. If you do resolve this card, then you return the targeted monster to the hand, and the special summon monster can't be destroyed by battle or card effects until the end of the next turn. So this card is also very powerful to protect your Dragonmaids that you will summon with this card. 1 copy of Dragonmaid Welcome. I don't know why actually people don't play this card in Dragonmaid decks. This card is very good because it can recycle Dragonmaid cards from your graveyard. You only require to control 2 Dragonmaid monsters. So yeah, apart from all monsters you control, gain 100 attack for each Dragonmaid monster that you control. I really like this card, so I decided to play one. Also, we have one copy of Dragonmaid Changeover, and this card is, I think, one of the most powerful cards that you could see in this deck. Simply because, apart from being a Dragon Fusion card, this card you can add it to your hand from your graveyard simply by returning one Dragonmaid monster that you control to your hand. So yeah, potentially you could activate this card twice per turn. That is, if you draw it, you can activate it, make a fusion, return a Dragonmaid to your hand, return this card to your hand and activate it again. However, you can only use this effect once per turn, but Dragonmaid Changeover is definitely very powerful card. Then we play one copy of Dragon Ravine. By discarding one card, you can basically send one dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Mainly, most of the time, you're going to send the high level dragon monsters, or sometimes you might need, because if you have Nurse Dragonmaid in your hand, you can use this card to send a level 4 lower Dragonmaid so that you can special summon using the effect of Nurse Dragonmaid. And also, to accompany Dragon Ravine, we also have one copy of Foolish Burial. Self-explanatory, send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. Card that might come in handy is also Return of the Dragon Lords. Since the high level Dragon Maids are level 7 and level 8, this card is really perfect for them. Also, it can be used to protect your Dragon Maids or any dragon that you would control. Then we run two copies of World Legacy Guard Dragon. This card has seen a lot of play in Guard Dragon decks, mainly because when this card is activated, you target one level 4 or lower dragon monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand or special summon it. You can use this effect to special summon the lower level Dragon Maids. So yeah, this card can really become useful, and once per turn you can also target one dragon monster you control and move it to another of your main monster zones. So this card could also work well with Dragonmaid Changeover. Like I said before, activate Changeover, summon House Dragonmaid. With this card's effect, move House Dragonmaid, then return Changeover to your hand, activate it again, and summon a second House Dragonmaid on your field, so that you can apply even more pressure to your opponent. Then for back row disruption, I play in this deck two Cosmic Cyclones, but really guys, you can play any back row destruction card you want. You can play Twin Twisters if you like. I chose Cosmic Cyclone because I really believe that this card could be good, because Dragon Maids also, although I think the Dragon Maids could perform very well in the format, still I think that other decks will eventually do better, so Cosmic Cyclone will help this deck to cope with those decks as well. Also, to stop your opponent from interrupting, two copies of Called by the Grave. We all know what this card does. One copy of Dragonmaid Downtime. I think this card is very powerful. This is also a search card for your deck. All you need to do is return a Dragonmaid that you control and to your hand, and search any Dragonmaid card from your deck and add it to your hand. Or you can also return one spell and trap your opponent controls into the hand. So that's the main deck, guys. And moving on to the extra deck, a card that you would definitely need is 3 copies of House Dragonmaid. House Dragonmaid is the most powerful card that you will have in this deck, simply because, first of all, it requires one Dragonmaid monster and one dragon monster, which is very easy to summon. And first of all, once during your standby phase, you can target another Dragonmaid monster you control, special summon one Dragonmaid from your hand or graveyard in defense whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than it. Also, the other effect which is really powerful is that when another face-up dragon monster you control returns to the hand, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. You cannot use this effect during the damage step, but for the rest, you are guaranteed to destroy a card. So definitely 3 copies of House Dragonmaid. Then we play 1 copy of number 11 Big Eye. You play a lot of level 7 monsters in this deck. Could come into a situation when your opponent has a monster which is too big for you to go through, so you can play number 11 Big Eye and take control of that monster. That monster will become yours. Next I play Guard Dragon Pisty and LP. Like we said, most of the cards are low level. So this, you can really perform a guard dragon combo. Because we run Dragon Ravine, we play one Dragon Unit Knight Romulus. When summoned, Romulus will get you Dragon Ravine instantly, so you can continue with your combos. Then one Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This card is really important for interrupting your opponent, because you can tribute it and return the target to the hand. And if this card is tributed, you get to special summon one dragon monster from your hand or deck, but it makes its attack and defense 0. A card that I've been trying to play, and I have seen quite a bit of success with this, is Twin Triangle Dragon. Twin Triangle Dragon requires 2 level 4 lower dragon monsters, except tokens, and when this card is link summoned, you can pay 500 life points, then target 1 level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your zone, discard points too, but it cannot attack this turn. Also, it has its effects negated. So why do I think this card is really good? If you already have a House Dragonmaid, for example, you can summon Twin Triangle Dragon, get a high level Dragonmaid monster. If you have Dragonmaid changeover in your graveyard, you can return the monster you just summoned with Twin Triangle Dragon to your hand, add changeover to your hand, and also get to destroy a card with House Dragonmaid. These two can really work well together. Then one copy of Nightmare Phoenix for destroying back row. One copy of Nightmare Unicorn to shuffle one card that your opponent controls. Also, a very powerful card that I like to play in this deck is Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Summoning 3 monsters in this deck is not that difficult, and also having a level 5 or higher monster is also not difficult, so this card could be very optimal in this deck for battle and banishing and whatever. You might need this card too. Then one copy of Saryuja Skaldred. This card is a bit hard to summon in this deck, but if you get to summon it, you can get a lot of benefits from this card. So yeah, one copy of Saryuja Skaldred, and then one copy of Borlow Dragon, and to finish, one copy of Borel's Sword Dragon. So that's it for the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notifications button so that you will know when a new video is being uploaded. And if you wish for me to build a deck for a deck profile, let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you have any suggestions for this deck, also let me know in the comment section below. So that's going to be it for today's video. So I'll see you in the next one, and I wish you have a nice day.